Welcome to the TMZ podcast. I think Nick Reiner is going to be found not guilty at the end of the proceedings, to be honest. I was there yesterday. I heard Alan Jackson speak. I
Not only heard it, you were in it.
was in Alan Jackson speak. There's actually a fairly humorous photo/video of me. Did you see me yesterday on the footage when I thought that I wasn't being seen?
Yes, we all saw you.
It was everyone was sending me like a meme of myself peering out from behind a column trying to get a view of Alan Jackson. This is a pre-podcast. Have I said that yet? This isn't the real podcast, so that's why I'm being so unprofessional. But I'm fairly convinced that Nick Reiner's defense, even though he doesn't have a lawyer on his side right now, is winning the case. Alan Jackson pulled out of being Nick Reiner's lead lawyer yesterday, and everyone's wondering why. I've got my own suspicions, but I really think Nick Reiner, what we're learning about his mental state and the drugs he was on, the prescribed drugs. I don't know about if we don't know if he was on any illicit drugs when the murders took place, but we know he was on prescribed drugs, and they had a horrible effect on him. And so I think that's going to be used. It's going to be central to his defense. It's pretty compelling. And I mean, it's obvious he did it, right? Allegedly. But, it's obvious. But his mental state. So, listen to this. Nick Reiner became homicidal when his medication was changed a month before the murders. So he's got he's got schizophrenia, but it's even a more advanced, it's a more extreme version of schizophrenia, apparently, called schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder. So he was stable 1 month before the murders, apparently. He was not fine, he's schizophrenic, take medication for it, but he was stable. And then they changed his medications. It says doctors inexplicably changed the medication. There must be an explanation. There must be a reason. I don't think we can doctor blame on yet. But sources will not disclose the reason that the doctors changed the medication, but the sources said it made no sense to them at the time. And then apparently Nick spiraled right after the medication change, becoming agitated, erratic, and increasingly dangerous. Rob and Michelle grew alarmed at his behavior, and they didn't know what to do. By the time of the murders, Nick had a complete break from reality, and he may have been legally insane at the time of the murders. Legally insane. And that can be proved or not proved, you know what I mean? Under California law, insanity does not require ignorance of right and wrong. So what they have to prove is a lack of understanding of the nature and quality of what he was doing. So when he went over to kill his parents, did he really understand the nature and the quality of what he was? Did he understand that he was killing his parents? God, how can you not understand that even if you must be so messed up. You must be so messed up, like not know who you are. This is going to be such a crazy case because it's obvious. I don't know if I'm illegally allowed. It's allegedly obvious, but this whole were you in your right mind? Were you not in your right mind? There's probably degrees of it too. Like, where does it have to be on the sliding scale of rightness of mind to deem him insane so that he didn't understand what he was doing at the time? If this medication change a month out from the murders is true, and if he really is schizophrenic, and it seems like he is, I think that's a pretty good defense. So at this stage, I really think not guilty is, by reason of insanity, is winning. We'll see. We'll see. Who was the people? So Alan Jackson pulled out of the court case yesterday. I have my suspicions as to why. Some people think maybe it was like a conflict of interest. Maybe he had dealings with Rob and Michelle back in the day, or I don't think so. I think it probably comes down to money. I think he probably took the case, assuming, there was money somewhere buried in the Reiner that Nick maybe had a trust or Nick had access to, or I think, and I haven't heard anyone who's smarter than me talking about it, so I don't know if this is on the right base or not, but I think that maybe Nick didn't have the money to pay, and Alan's a very, very expensive lawyer, and he's not going to work for free, and he shouldn't have to work for free.
The family is not going to spend their hard-earned trust and money defending this guy. Why would they do that?
Well, because maybe they don't want. Maybe they agree.
They're already screwed. It doesn't matter with the outcome.
But maybe they agree that their brother is not guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking in the last few days is what happened.
So then wouldn't they help him
You were
pay
in the
for
courtroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw his demeanor, his behavior. He seemed normal.
He did seem kind of normal and fine.
Apparently he was smirking.
He
smiling.
did. He did do a little smirk.
He knows what he did.
I said,
this is a personal opinion, but he knows what he did.
I think he knows what he did now. And I don't think you can judge his demeanor now to be any sort of evidence or guilt of what happened a few weeks ago. But I think he was crazed at the time. And whether or not that's a defense or not, whether or not he should still be guilty or not.
Walk me through how does being crazy make you grab a knife and start shoving it in your parents' throats 60 to 100 times?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It takes a lot of effort, energy, stamina to kill someone in that way, and to kill two people in that way.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen
and then going to a hotel and then having guilty consciousness to get in a shower the blood off, do meth when you hang up sheets on the blood, and that didn't happen, but
right,
it's just alleged.
Oh, yeah, is it? Well, I understand where you're coming from. I definitely do. That's why this case is going to be so interesting. That's why Alan Jackson wanted to take the case in the beginning, because you can mount a case either way, don't you think? Don't you think you can mount a case for the defense?
He could go get Alan Jackson, the country artist, to defend him instead.
Ah, there we go.
Than the Alan Jackson.
Nice. I like that. Well, the reason I think it comes down to money is because Alan Jackson was like, when he was appearing in court yesterday, he was talking to the judge. He was talking about subpoenaing this person, subpoenaing that person. And if it was a conflict of interest or something that like, oh my God, this guy can't be on the case anymore because of this crazy thing that happened behind the scenes, he couldn't like stand up yesterday and talk about subpoenas and this and that. I think it has to come down to money. And also, wasn't it weird to you that instead of Alan Jackson being replaced by another high-profile lawyer, he was replaced with a public defender that you get for free?
That's how you know you're screwed.
That's how you know that like money is a factor, don't you? Don't you think like that's how I'm like, why is this free lawyer instead of this hugely highly? It's got to be money, right?
How much would Alan Jackson really? Because this is going to be a very long case. Because they would be frozen.
It costs so much.
Working by the hour, it'd be millions of dollars.
Oh, millions of dollars.
To defend what?
Upwards of $10 million.
Their names, the name's already.
It's not about his name. It's about keeping this your brother out of prison, or you know what I mean?
I think the public would be happier if he was in prison.
The public?
Yeah, the public wants him to go to prison.
Well, it depends. If he's provably like and he has got a mental illness, and if his medication that was changed a month early did have a negative effect.
I have a theory. What if he flat out didn't have a mental illness and he just did it?
He did though, Branson.
I know he did, but what if
if he didn't?
Actually just did that because he wanted to do that?
Well, then you can't be not guilty by reason of insanity.
That's where it's hard, because it's like, regardless, I'm always going to be like, what if it really was a prejudice thing?
But he did have schizophrenia.
Right. But what if it wasn't the schizophrenia
that made him do that? Yeah. And you can just blame it on that.
It's very easy to blame it on that.
I guess.
It's like a get out of jail free card.
I guess that may be true. But I mean, that's what all the doctors and everything are for. And
sorry, Devin is here.
It's up for the jury.
Yeah.
It's up for the jury to decide.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Guilty people get off all the time as well, just because the jury decides that, whatever. Oh, nice. This is my co-host, Devin Ryle.
What's going on? Give me 1 second.
Just, I call him the newsbreaker lovemaker for a reason. He ain't making much love, so he may break some news. So yeah, this is the pre-podcast Q&A. Thanks for joining us. Me and Branson, my producer, have just been spitballing this Nick Reiner thing. Now me and my co-host, Devin Ryle, are going to talk about Nick Reiner and Alan Jackson, and we're also going to talk about me old mate, Ronnie Radke. If you've been following the Ronnie Radke story, it is one of the funniest stories of the year. The year is a week old, and this is one of the funniest stories of this entire year. Are you nearly ready, Devin?
Yeah, I'm almost ready. Sorry, I've been working on this literally all morning.
Okay.
The reason for being...
Wow, this whole episode, I shot. There's Ronnie Radke.
You making something about yourself? No.
Well, Ronnie Radke shot his mind, and then Nick Reiner shot his mind. So I'm not making about myself.
But you also are the person who's in charge of what we cover.
I chose the topics.
Yeah.
What is there any better topic? You know, the only topic that I thought was better than the ones we chose. That the guy with the big dick suing his ex-wife.
Oh yeah, did we not talk about that yesterday?
We just don't have enough time.
Yeah, that is a really good story.
There's a guy with a big penis suing his ex-wife for telling everyone he has a big penis.
It is a
great story.
It is a great story.
It's a great story.
I mean, the thing is, it was an old story because the clip came out a couple months ago.
But the lawsuit,
the lawsuit is the new part. Yeah.
And you know who I think's behind the lawsuit? The new wife.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So I guess we've covered that story now. Look into it.
But like, if that were,
No, you don't.
I don't know we don't know their relationship at all. But like, if I'm, what's her,
Haley Bailey.
If I'm the new wife,
the new
why
wife.
would you care?
Because her comments and everyone's thinking like, how can you take that? You must be in so much pain.
Dude, people just need to stop reading comments. All right, let's go. Nick,
we're gonna lose him. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, so sorry guys. Don't Nick Reiner. Back to Nick Reiner.
Back to Nick Reiner.
Back to Nick Reiner. Don't lose us.
All right, go.
All right.
Here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and this is my good friend Devin Ryle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So turn of events is like, I thought you weren't going to be at the court yesterday.
I wasn't going to be at the court yesterday, but then I got a crazy call.
I know.
Last minute call up, and I was at the courthouse yesterday for the Nick
Wait,
Reiner
so you
trial.
weren't their first choice?
Oh, I'm never their first choice. For anything
I'm just messing.
But anything you need, like the person, you need them to be A, take it seriously, and B, definitely not be high. They rarely choose me, but I guess
slim pickings.
I guess I was there.
You did a good job, though.
It was interesting. It was interesting to be there. We're going to talk all about Nick Reiner, and I got to say, I kind of think I'm leaning towards a not guilty verdict.
Really? After being there?
After being there, after hearing Alan Jackson, after this story.
Even the fact that he stepped down?
I've got really big suspicions. I think I know why he stepped down.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to hear.
But I think we'll get into it, but there's stuff we know about what Nick Reiner was going through in the month leading up to the murders.
Yeah, this is attached to Harvey and TMZ's new documentary that drops tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Great plug.
Yeah.
He's very into this documentary, Harvey. And also we're going to talk about Ronnie Radke.
Yeah, you met up with him yesterday. And it's interesting. It's cool that you met up with him just because obviously you're super into this story. And I feel like we're both, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like we're both like, don't really know 100% what to believe. So I'm curious after speaking with him if now you've like decided what's going on.
Yeah, so we'll talk about, was Ronnie Radke the catfish behind the account that was trying to love bomb Brittany Furlan? Ronnie says it wasn't him. Brittany says, I know that was you on the account. I talked to Ronnie about it. It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
We're live on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Leave your comments or questions. If you're on Spotify, iTunes, thank you very much.
So Nick Reiner
yesterday was a crazy day in court. Unexpected day in court. We arrived thinking it was going to be like a Nick Reiner pleads not guilty by reason of insanity. But as soon as we step in the courtroom, Alan Jackson says, hey guys, sorry, not sorry, I'm stepping down.
He's withdrawing from the case, which people, I mean, I was kind of shocked just because the guy is a massive attorney.
Yes.
Who doesn't shy away from cameras and big time cases. There's no bigger case in the country right now than Nick Reiner.
Oh,
case.
he loves a camera.
So the fact that he took this case, you would imagine he knew what he was getting into, right? You know what I mean? Like you knew there was going to be blowback from certain people. You knew there was going to be attention. So it's just kind of shocking that at his arraignment, when we thought we were going to get some type of plea, that he's just like, I'm out.
It was shocking. It was shocking. And for me, it only points to one thing: money. Because
that's what I think too.
You've got the most high-profiled and thus probably one of the most expensive lawyers in the country representing you, and then click your fingers and you've gone to a public defender you get for free. What? So I think Alan Jackson took the case assuming something maybe he shouldn't have about Nick's finances or his trust or something, and turns out the bank account is dry and he's going to pull out.
Well, I don't think anyone thought that Nick might have had the money to pay for Alan Jackson. I think why a lot of people were really shocked when he announced that he was representing Nick was that you were thinking, okay, so where's the money coming from? And the only logical thing is that, you know, the kids are the ones who have the money and are inheriting their parents' money. So that was making it seem like the kids were the ones who were fronting, you know, the money to defend their brother who obviously killed their parents. Which, I mean, can you imagine if you're in Rami, and that's the daughter's name, and I forgot what the other son's name is, but if you're in the kids' like shoes, your parents were just murdered and you want justice for your parents, but they were murdered by your brother who clearly has mental health issues. And do you really want to see your brother rot in prison for the rest of his life, or do you want to see him get help?
Right. And so I agree with that. And I kind of think that maybe they'd lean towards brother getting help, even though brother did the most horrible thing ever.
So that could also be maybe and again, this is all just speculation. I don't know, but maybe the kids had a change of heart.
Maybe. I think
because
maybe
there
they
was
stood
a
away.
lot of blowback when it was announced. They were like, wait, so the kids are supporting their brother
Wouldn't
and
you?
defending
I
him?
think I would support my...
I wouldn't. But the mental health issue is why you probably would.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If it was done in cold blood, then definitely not. But I mean, surely, they've grown up with this kid, Nick, you know, and they know his struggles. They know with drug abuse. So
and then
they've got the ability to pay for a decent lawyer, one would think, with their inheritance.
For sure.
So they must, don't you think they must be choosing not to?
Yeah, and the other interesting thing I thought was when Alan did his press conference when you were peeking around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Great job by you.
It's almost a meme. I was peeking around the corner.
That was hilarious.
I didn't know it was on camera.
But yeah, he basically said to everyone that Nick is not guilty, and he couldn't get into why he was stepping down. I think there's legal reasons why and whatever, but he didn't say much. But he's just said that Nick is not guilty. You would assume because of reason of insanity. So that shows that he didn't step down from this case because he didn't think he could win the case.
Totally.
So
and it wasn't like he didn't step down because it was a conflict of interest or something weird going on. Because that's
usually another typical reason why a lawyer would withdraw.
This wasn't that, but I mean.
So now this Kimberly Green, she's had 19 years of experience. She's a public defender.
She won't last.
No, I'm sure.
Don't learn her name is what I'm saying. Don't bother learning her name.
I'm sure Nick will hire a separate attorney. Harvey made a good point yesterday that I didn't really think about. You know, public defenders are great. They're attorneys. They do a great job. But the problem is the resources.
Yes.
They're not, a public defender isn't going to have the resources available as far as money to bring in all these experts.
You need to pay for experts.
And different people to come in during the trial to defend, her client. So
get this. A month before the murders, Nick's medication was changed. And this is a kid who has, well, he's not a kid, a man who has schizoaffective disorder, which is like a more extreme version of schizophrenia. And so a month before the murders, his medication was inexplicably changed, apparently. Apparently he was stable before. His medication was changed. This is, what our sources tell us. And they think since his medication was changed, he spiraled, became agitated, erratic, and increasingly dangerous. Rob and Michelle were alarmed but didn't know what to do. And this was all happening in the month leading up to the murder. So this is what Nick's defense is going to point to.
What? I mean, like you said, this just makes no sense.
Why would his medication
if someone, I mean, it makes sense as far as the defense, but
Yeah.
why, if he was doing well, would they mess with whatever? Why would doctors or whoever he was working with like tamper with them, like change up the medication? Usually, when things are working, it's like, okay, things are good.
Yeah, I would. Yes,
That's very odd, but a very good legal defense.
So this will be interesting. This will be very. I think now I'm more leaning towards he'll get not guilty by reason of insanity, but I could easily go the other way.
Because apparently under California law, insanity does not require ignorance of right and wrong, only lack of understanding of the nature and quality of the act.
But the only thing is, like, 2 murders in such a fashion would take like a long time. There's a lot of time to kind of change your mind during the act because it's exhausting. It's not like a movie where you just do one incision and it goes.
Well, also, it's not like like a gun.
And it's not a
where
gun.
You just like pull the trigger a couple times.
So to do one, then do the other, it's just like, wow.
Very gruesome.
It's gruesome. This kid must have been out of his mind.
So, yeah, I think his next court appearance is in February. So we said earlier, no plea because obviously his lawyer withdrew.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I would imagine before that time, like you said, he will have a new attorney and maybe he'll be back there in February. Who knows?
Okay, on to our next story. Ronnie Radke says he is not the catfish behind the person catfishing Brittany Furlan.
He's been pretty steadfast since the beginning. He wasn't.
Since the beginning. So just to quickly catch you up, an account claiming to be Ronnie Radke had been catfishing Brittany Furlan, who's the wife of Tommy Lee.
Had been messaging Brittany Furlan. We don't know if it was a catfish.
True, we don't know for sure. Well, messaging as Ronnie.
Brittany thought she was messaging Ronnie.
And then it all came
and having kind of basically what is it? It's not physical cheating because they never saw an emotional like relationship with him. Basically turns out, she thinks it was him.
She still thinks to this day it was.
He came out, Tommy Lee finds out. I guess they were separated at the time, and going through a rough patch in their marriage. So, she thought she was talking to Ronnie Radke. He said it wasn't him. He found out about it, made this public, yada, yada, yada.
So she's been pretty embarrassed for the past 6 months or however long it takes to come out. And so she came out with a little thing a couple days ago, basically still thinking you are like scamming me. You're doing something.
No, she still is adamant that it was him running the account.
Anyway, I went and spoke to Ronnie yesterday in Hollywood, and this is what he had to say. Would you be down for Neve Schulman and Catfish to investigate this?
I would be down for anybody that has any access to this account that can get the IP that can literally prove who this is. If you're out there and you know what you're doing, let's go. Before the subpoena gets here, after the subpoena gets here, when the subpoena gets here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to literally email all the metadata to Tommy Lee. So Neve, if you're out there, wake up. Let's get this going. Let's go. Figure this shit out because I'm tired of hearing about it, straight up.
I mean, it's like what we said the other day. Like, this is Neve's Super Bowl.
This is Neve's Super Bowl.
He's never done as far as I know, a celebrity catfish situation. I know their show's no longer going and he's moved on. I think he's like a marathon runner now. He had that terrible bike accident that thank God he recovered from.
And a real estate agent.
So the guy's got a lot going on, but it's like, dude, this is your guys' Super Bowl. Call up your buddy. I don't know what.
Max.
Yeah, call up Max and get on the case because he's being serious because I guess Ronnie's saying he's going to take some type of legal action.
No, he wants to subpoena Snapchat to find out like the
metadata. So he basically to vindicate himself.
Yeah.
To further showing that he's like all in that this isn't me.
Well,
after speaking to him, oh no, continue. Go ahead.
So two little things, and I hope these two things aren't off the record, but Neve is down to
really.
I mean, I've been speaking to Neve.
Well, wow, because I know I had mentioned this the other day, but when this story first broke, I had reached out to him just interested to get his take on it. And he's usually, I mean, I love the guy.
I love the guy.
The guy is always down to talk.
He's one of our best. He's a celebrity we share.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's like like that Venn diagram, and he's in the middle.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not doing the catfish stuff anymore. I'm not really interested in weighing in.
Well,
but
he's interested now.
wow, that's good news.
He's interested. I'm going to try to get him on this podcast, maybe.
That would be amazing. I would love to speak to him.
Yeah, that would.
I would love to speak to him.
So stay tuned. But also, as we thought, I think Brittany, who's seen the interview now, still believes Ronnie is the catfish,
Of course.
and
Of course.
and has basically a stack of evidence that she is waiting to drop.
Oh, because she's dropped a lot.
She's waiting to drop a stack
So
of
there's
evidence.
more. Because she has posted a lot on her social media that is compelling for sure.
She thinks she's going to be completely vindicated, and just you wait.
Okay. Well, we shall see. I mean, there is an answer to this question.
There's got to be an answer, right?
And I actually think if this is true and they do get the metadata, I mean, that's black and white of who it was.
Yeah. Look,
know what I mean?
I keep going back and forth. I'm about 90% sure it's not Ronnie, but there's a good 10% chance that it is him.
Well, I mean, we're staying on this story.
Oh, following beat by beat.
I know. Damn, that's interesting because she has posted a lot of stuff. The number thing was interesting to me that she posted on social media.
A phone number associated with an account that has been kind of like trying to trick her is there's a Ronnie link.
You know what would be interesting, and I actually could see being a wrinkle. This is another one of my theories. If the Snapchat, the original one, wasn't him, I could see him then making fake other profiles and messing with her.
Just like double, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like
can see that.
stirring it up, but like maybe the original catfish actually wasn't him. I mean, regardless,
He's a troll.
I was gonna
troll.
say he is very steadfast that this Snapchat account
Right.
isn't him, but he's loving this.
Oh,
dude.
he's loving it.
It's like he could have let this go. I guess she re-brought it up, but he's like all in again.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him.
I don't know.
I like him.
Do you?
Whether it's him or not, but this is such an interesting story. I think we will get to the bottom of it eventually.
And they've never met, as far as I know, in person.
Apparently, she showed up to his house.
Well, but he never, apparently it was his old house,
Yes.
remember? So he didn't even live there. And then I think he claims she showed up to some doctor's appointment that he was at, like outside. I believe her side of the story is it's like a medical spa that she goes to. So it was like coincidence that they were at the same place.
Do you think is it at all possible that we could get Brittany,
No chance.
Neve, and Ronnie on the podcast?
That would be
to sort it out. We know them all.
The funny thing is, do I think that will happen? Probably not.
Probably not.
But do I think it could happen? Yes.
There's about the same chance
Yes.
it's Ronnie being the catfish.
Yes, exactly.
That they'd appear here.
That
okay.
would be crazy, bro.
Comment time.
We'll talk about the Reiner situation first. Cindy Claus, doctors change men's meds regularly, and they should have called the doctor immediately. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the doctor was thinking. I don't know the circumstances. It's also, you never know if, I know the mother of Nick Reiner was very concerned and at her wit's end and just didn't know what to do. But there's always that thought that, do you want to keep sending your kid, in and out of rehabs, in and out of medical facilities?
Do you want to call, even if you think that your kid's acting insane, do you really want to call the cops on them and say, look?
I feel like you always think we can figure this out.
Yes.
We can handle them. We're their parent.
So sad.
Yeah, Schaefer Scott, no, not money. He was never going to represent him through the trial. Alan just wanted the attention and then left.
I actually thought maybe the same thing.
That's an interesting theory.
I
He
actually
wanted to
thought-
get it. He wanted to insert himself, but had no plans on ever actually.
Didn't that occur to you too, that maybe he just said, I'll take it for a month?
No, I thought he was going to see it all the way through because I thought Alan loves this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was shocked that.
Good point though,
stepped
by.
up. Just saying, did Nick have any friends, people he hung out with? Yeah, people have came out and said they were friends with him. It's interesting, as of a lot of the people I've seen speak out were ex-friends or friends that lost touch with him. So I don't really know who he was hanging out with as in the last few months.
Well, I mean,
Or the
for
last
a drug addict, drug addicts are friends with other drug addicts, really.
Usually I think a lot of times when you are, most of your circle are people that do drugs with you
Right.
and stuff. And usually when you go
When
to
you lose
rehab,
friends.
you're told to cut those people out of your life.
So then you have no one.
Yeah. I mean, he showed up at the whose Christmas party was it again? Conan's bot, just with his parents. He wasn't
Yeah.
like with a friend.
Right.
So. Kathy Bristol, I hope this case shines a light on the terrible disease of schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder, which is the worst version there is. Yeah, I mean, it's tragic. I mean, you see homeless people all the time that are clearly battling these mental problems, and it's tragic. And clearly, someone or the government or whoever, I don't have the answers, need to step in and figure it out.
Right.
Nick Reiner, done for, 79%. I mean, it depends on 79% say yes. It depends on what you mean for done for.
Yeah.
Because if he also the other element to this is the DA was there, obviously.
That surprised me, the
Hockman.
DA. The DA's like, we're going to get him.
Yeah, and he came in hard and was like, this guy killed his parents and we're going to get justice.
Aren't they supposed to be unbiased? They want justice.
Yeah, but they're prosecutors, so their job is to put this guy away for killing his parents.
It still felt like a very strong stance when you don't really know.
It was kind of, well, they do know the case.
Does he know the case back to front?
Of course. They have all their investigators working on it.
It just surprised me.
He's seen all the evidence, but it's also like, you would think with the mental health element, he would handle it a little bit more delicately.
I thought that, is it Hockman you said?
Yeah.
I thought that Hockman probably just hates Alan Jackson and wanted to clap back as hard as Alan Jackson said, not guilty.
He's also like a guy that's like, I'm coming in and going to shut down crime. And he's very like hard on crime and stuff. So
Right, okay.
his job is to be like, I'm making the city safe, you know? So.
Right, like in Batman.
Yeah, like Batman. Brittany Ferlin and Ronnie Radke. Sir Mel, has he watched Catfish? He doesn't get that deep. They're not using metadata and all that on Catfish. Interesting. Neve, Charlie, and Devin catching Catfish for the new season.
I actually hoped that once upon a time. I hoped that Neve was going to make me the Australian host of it, like Australian
Did you?
Catfish.
That would be kind of funny. That would have been awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, but the thing is, they may not have used metadata on the show back then, but
No.
this isn't Catfish the show.
No.
This
no,
is Neve with TMZ.
I know, but I hope this isn't spilling too many beans, but Neve said he doesn't use metadata. So Ronnie's going above and beyond.
Got it. So, but Ronnie will be working with Neve. So Neve's going to be using all of his techniques that he used that clearly worked for multiple seasons, and he'll have even more ammo.
Yes.
So it's like a supercharged Catfish.
I think we should get Neve and we should go over to like Ronnie's place and then they work together. Then we could get Neve, we go over to Brittany's place. Maybe in the same room as two.
I correct me if I'm wrong. So Catfish, they only go to the person who believes they're being catfished and they try to find the catfish,
I haven't
right?
really watched very much.
That's how it goes. But this isn't the OG Catfish. This is a whole new thing. We're just bringing in an expert.
This is like online catfish.
Yeah, we're bringing in. All catfishes are on.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, except the ones in the ocean.
Yeah, true. We're bringing in Neve.
I
actually think I thought this story was over and we'd never have an answer. I think it's got enough smoke now that I do think
we might get an answer.
I think we might.
Catfishing in the age of AI must be very easy. They got to bring back the show for AI catfish. It's so much easier to catfish now.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, you're saying it's easier to catfish now than it was back then.
Like,
so actually his job would be harder now, which maybe that's why he went away.
Maybe it's getting too hard. Like
Yeah.
someone could send you a video of AI me going, Devin, I love you. I've never admitted how much I love you before. Let's elope together. And you'd be like, damn, like all my dreams have happened.
I didn't know where you were going.
And it was actually AI.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it was two good stories
All right.
that you covered.